my goodness, what is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. Oh my goodness, we've got an incredible episode for you guys today. The incredible Steve Cole, saxophonist extraordinaire, is in the house. And speaking of in the house, we're coming to you pre-recorded. We did not want to break the streak, but we are currently moving into our new house right now, and so that's why we wanted to make sure to get this episode to you guys. So I hope you enjoy it, and we're going to share some pictures for you in a little bit. But if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is AH Live. Don't forget to like Adam Hawley Artist page so you can find out about all the shows. Please click share. We want to spread the good vibes. We're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and having just such a blast. But let's get started off with some music. That's what we're here for, right? So we're going to kick it off with one of my tunes. It's called Just Dance. It featured the one and only Dave Koz on the original. Come on, y'all. We can dance a little bit. Put your hands right here, y'all. Put your hands right here. Come on, y'all. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are just getting started. Like I said, it is such a pleasure to have this gentleman in for AH Live. He's an incredible artist, incredible saxophonist, the one and only Steve Cole. I cannot wait to share this with you. We were just rolling, just laughing. We had so many good times talking, and we had such a blast playing 2 of his songs as well. Real quick, I want to remind you guys, if you want to help out the show, it's super easy. You can just click those links in the description. We've got PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. You can also do stars now. And huge thanks to everyone that's been supportive throughout the entire run. We couldn't do it without you guys. And we always make sure to mention you in the credits at the end. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And without further ado, please enjoy Steve Cole.
Man, what is up, Steve Cole? How are you doing today?
I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous because I'm looking at you, man.
Oh man, right back at you, man. And it looks like you're in the dojo there, man. I mean, what's going on? Are you slapping the bass? Give us a little backstory, man. What's up?
You know what? I will. You know, there is a story, and this is funny that you mentioned it because, like, so I'm making a new record, and I got really tired of hearing myself think on the saxophone. Which, you know, I got into big trouble last time that happened because I picked up a guitar and I made a record called Spin, and that sold tens and tens of copies. But no, I decided that I was going to start writing melodies on bass.
Wow. So
I strung my bass with piccolo strings.
Nice.
And because I wanted to write melodies on an instrument that I was unfamiliar with. And when I say unfamiliar, I'm talking about unfamiliar. Like I know a good bass player when I hear one, and there are none of those in this room right now.
Oh wow! So
it was just fun to do, you know, and just access a different part of my brain that wasn't like, you know, what I'm used to.
It's funny that you say that because I just did the same thing. Like 6 months ago,
with the saxophone. Oh my god!
No, with the piccolo bass, and no, but it's great. It just takes you out of, you know, we all get in our patterns and et cetera, and yeah. It's crazy when you disconnect from that. You know what will come from it. So
you got to disrupt yourself somehow. You know.
Well, speaking of picking up an instrument, just give us an idea. You know, I did a little research, went down memory road, and you spent time with the clarinet and classical saxophone. But just give us an idea. What got you into the reeds?
Well, my dad was a tenor player and a clarinet player and a flute player. You know, kind of standard doubler. You know, and so you know, I basically joined the family business. That's, you know. It couldn't have been like, you know, a bank. It had to be a saxophone. But what are you going to do? So, yeah, he got me into it. And I started on clarinet because we had an extra one of those. And I, you know, I kind of dug it, but I wasn't listening to the right cats when I was playing clarinet. You know, if I had listened to like Buddy DeFranco and, you know, Benny Goodman and Pete Fountain, and then like later on like Eddie Daniels, I would have probably been like, oh yeah, this is it right here. But I wasn't listening to those cats. I was you know, in band, so I was playing like, you know, marches and stuff. And I'm like, this ain't happening. So my band director, there was an old buffet tenor saxophone in the band closet. And it looked amazing to me. I'm like, man, I want to play that. He's like, all right, you can play it if you can carry it. Oh. So, wow. You know, and I ended up always missing the bus, so I would always have to carry that monster. And I was a little kid too, man. I would have to carry that tenor. But yeah, so I got into saxophone and got kicked out of band a bunch of times. Because I wasn't like interested in playing parts. I just wanted to play the melody all the time. Because the trumpet players got to play the melody all the time. And I thought that was not fair at all. So, you know, I got in trouble because I would just play the melody and he got kicked out. But then I found a really great teacher in high school. And his name was Wayne Richards, and he was amazing. And he was a you know, classical, you know, Marcel Mule style. He studied with, you know, Marcel Mule's, you know, kind of disciples. and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. So yeah, I that was kind of, my college experience. At least part of it was in, the classical world, and, doing the thing where you hold your arm up like this when you play, very serious.
So now, how did you end up, if I remember correctly, you ended up doing economics though, and then got an MBA. I mean, what happened? You went this way.
I decided I wanted to figure out how to make a living.
Hey, smart.
Right? But the funny thing is, so I did. So yeah, I kind of left the music school, and I ended up getting my degree in economics, and I got a job with a consulting firm, and was doing that, and I was like wearing a yellow tie and flying in a plane and eating steak, and I thought, this is great. And then I realized that like everything I was doing every day, I like had no interest in at all. So I had to figure out how to quit my job, and I didn't know how to quit my job. But back then, man, you could quit your job like completely, with respect, if you went and got your MBA, because that's what people did, right? So I went back to Chicago, and I got my MBA, and while I was there, I started, picking up the saxophone again, and really started, because I was a full-time student, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll take advantage of this and learn saxophone while I'm, at the University of Chicago. Right. Wow. And then I kind of just was on that path, back on that path again. But the cool thing is that I had all this background in business, and marketing and branding and all this stuff. And I kind of, actually accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I figured out how to make a living in music as the result of kind of taking a little bit of a detour and learning a little bit about business and industry. So it was cool, when I kind of came back to the saxophone. I had a bit of a plan about how I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Well, you certainly did that, because you just came out, just on fire with this debut album, Stay a While. I'm so curious. I want to hear a little bit of the backstory, because you connected with a good buddy of both of ours, Brian Culbertson, and just bam, just all of a sudden, we're a fixture. So what was the impetus behind that?
Yeah, Brian and I was playing in Brian's band for a number of years, and through him got to know some of the people at his label. First it was Mesa Blue Moon, and then that was acquired by Atlantic. So then I got to know some of the Atlantic folks, and Brian was actually really generous and kind of kind of supporting me in that pursuit, and we worked together on my first demos. And after a while, it wasn't something that was like, oh yeah, Steve, we'll sign you. This is great. It was kind of like, we'll see. It took a while for them to come around. And one day I remember I was in Chicago, and Brian and I had written a song together called Where the Night Begins. And we put that on a demo, and we played it for George Knopfel, who was the A&R guy at Atlantic at the time. And I remember, having dinner with him. He was in town because Brian was working on a record. And we all went out to dinner together. Or maybe it was lunch. It was still light out. I don't know. All I know, it was Italian, and it was excellent.
Okay.
But George actually kind of, at the table was kind of like, yeah, man, I think this track is really, really great. I think we're ready. And I'm like, ready for what? Ready for the check? What? More wine? Like that's always Oh,
there you go. Hey.
No, and it was probably it was a good long time between the time we first started talking about it and we started helping me out with that and the time that happened, and then we were off to the races, and it's that first record, man. It wasn't Brian's first record; it was mine. And you have your whole life's full of repertoire.
Yeah.
It's like you've been writing that record your whole life. And you finally get a chance to put it out. And then they break it to you after you make your first record. Oh, now you make another one in 12 months.
Yeah.
Like, huh? Like I had like decades to make that. But yeah. So, and we were living fairly close together, and he had a studio in a high-rise building downtown, and so, you know, we'd get together and write music, and, you know, he'd do his Brian thing to it, and we'd eat and then come back and do more of that, and we had a great time making that record, actually. You know, we flew to LA and recorded, like, you know, Paul Jackson Jr. and Jose Aiello and Philip Ingram, and you know, had a fun time. So yeah, wow. that was a good time, you know, and that record ended up doing really great. So that was fabulous.
Speaking of collaborations, I met you. I mean, obviously you've had an illustrious solo career, but I met playing guitar for you with the Sax Pack. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about? Because obviously it's a nod to the Rat Pack, but it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, that was Jeff's idea.
Okay.
Actually, I have to back up. It was Miles Gilderdale's idea from Acoustic Alchemy, because apparently Jeff was on the road with those guys, and I think Miles was joking. Jeff would tell the story better, but I think they were watching some kind of, like, you know, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis movie or something like that, or it came up, and Miles said, "Yeah, you should be the Sax Pack," and Jeff was like, "Okay."
Wow.
and yeah, and so, you know, I knew Jeff, you know, kind of, you know, just we'd run into each other on the road every once in a while, and my brother was actually a big fan of his. He had Jeff's records, and so I was like, oh man, it's like, you know, this guy's amazing. So he calls me up out of the blue one day. He's like, hey man, it's like, you know, I'm putting the band back together, you know, and he's like, would you be interested in doing this? I'm like, yeah, you know, that sounds really cool. He's like, yeah, you know, Kim Waters is, you know, someone I'm thinking about too. I'm like, wow, that'd be great. Yeah. And I didn't know these guys very well at all, honestly. It's kind of like how you run into each other and you're like, hey man, and you love each other's playing, but you don't know anything about anyone really. Our first gig was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the first time we really met, like, you know, deliberately, was at the airport at baggage claim.
Wow.
And immediately it was like we'd known each other for decades, like we had, like, grown up together and, like, you know, been in the same neighborhood. It was crazy. Yeah. So it just, you know, turned into a kind of a, you know, decade plus long party. It was great.
And you guys, it's the banter is what makes it. I mean, you know, all of you guys are great players, but you've got the banter down there in between tunes. It's a riot.
We just take whatever conversation we were having at the bar and just kind of bring it to the stage.
So. You just keep it going, yeah. Yep. Well, you mentioned earlier when we first started talking the new record. So what can you tell us about it? When is it coming? You know, give us the details.
It's coming when it's finished.
Okay.
No, it's really close, actually. It's really close. As a matter of fact, I have to probably be a little closer than I thought, because I'm starting to get those emails from, you know, from the label. It's like, hey man, we're still cool for November, right?
Oh.
Like, November? Wow, that's like next month, isn't it? But no, it's really close. And I'm supposed to give it up in November, and however long it takes, you know, for them to do what they do before they release it. But it's going to be, you know, next year, hopefully, when it's nice out and when more than 3 people are allowed in the same room together at the same time.
Man, tell me about it. Yeah, well, we'll be looking forward to that, definitely, man.
Yeah. And it was interesting because it was made, this is the first record that I've really made without being in the room with, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
Because, and part of it is, you know, I always had the same ritual. I would go to New York and write a bunch of music with David Mann and some other you know, writers. And then I would come back here, and then I would fly, or, you know, Kahari Parker, of blessed memory, and Lamar Jones here, you know, in Minneapolis, and we would go to, you know, Bruce Swedeen's old studio that Steve Weiss runs now and owns, and we would record rhythm section there, and it would be like this whole party, and it would be great, and it'd be live. and you know, and this year it's all just like remote, but it's really so cool because I got to work with some different players who I haven't gotten to work with before, and because they're home, you know, because they're home,
right.
which is never. My buddy Todd Zuckerman, I got to give a shout out to him because he's one of the most brilliant drummers on the planet. He's the drummer with Styx,
yeah,
like the band Styx, right?
Yeah,
and the last time we recorded, together was in like 2005.
Wow.
Because he's just constantly on the road, and I thought about it for a second. There was this one tune I thought would be perfect for him, and I'm like, holy crap, he's probably home, and he was, so he could do it, and Brian Dunn is playing on it, and just,
oh wow,
it's been a lot of fun, kind of virtually getting to know different players and making a record this way. So it's a silver lining. I would much rather be with humans in person, but it's been great.
That's awesome. Well, man, we can't wait to hear it. And speaking of getting virtual, you were nice enough to send over a couple tunes and let me jam on them. Thank you for that. And
yeah, man.
We're going to start off with Toronto. Really cool vibe. Just give us a little backstory on that tune.
So Toronto was actually a tune that originated with David Mann.
Oh.
And he was on the road with the Eagles.
Oh.
And he was, yeah. I'm going to tell you a very sad story about my dear friend David Mann, who was, stranded for 2 days off at the Four Seasons in Toronto, and, was inspired to kind of start this tune. And he kind of, emailed me, and I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. And we kind of put it together, and because it was written in Toronto, we just decided to call it Toronto.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing. When people ask me, what's the hardest thing of being an instrumentalist? It's just that. It's the titles.
Sometimes I literally will just like open up iTunes and kind of like randomly like,
yep.
I can't call it that.
Oh, man. Well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Toronto. Man, what a blast. Thanks for letting me jam on that one. And we got one more for the people on AH Live. It's a tune called Mirage. Tell us about that one.
Cool. Mirage is from my... I can't remember which... Hold on. Let's see. Mirage, where was that? It wasn't... I don't think it was on the last one. I think it was on the one before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is one of those stories about a song that almost didn't make the record. It was this vibe that we were putting together, and it didn't really sound like anything that I've ever done. And one day, because I kind of stumbled across it again, I started being like, maybe I'll see what's what with this, and started coming up with some other things, and then back and forth, and all of a sudden it becomes a tune. I'm like, wow, I didn't expect that. So it's actually one of my favorite tunes to play live, actually, because we played a little bit different live. We put like a 4 on the floor kind of house beat to it, and it's really kind of takes on a new kind of character. So yeah, this is Mirage.
Awesome. Here it is. This has been such a blast. Thanks for coming through. Before we get out of here, please let people know where they can find you online and social media.
You want my OnlyFans? No, sorry.
Your personal. Give us the bat phone.
So stevecole.net is my website, and Facebook is Steve Cole Music. Instagram is Steve Cole Music. I'm all over that. And, if you're in Minneapolis, look around. I might be behind you, stalking you.
Awesome, man. Well, really appreciate you taking the time, man. This was such a blast. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, great talking to you, man. Thanks.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only Steve Cole. Wow, what a talent and what a great guy. Like I said, we had such a blast hanging, and he's such a sweetheart, and man, awesome. Well, you know what time it is. It's time to bring in my lovely wife. It's time for the Cat Cam. Bam!
Hi.
What's up, Cat? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm better now that I see you. I like the hair. It's even better week 2.
Thank you. Yes, it's a lot looser. It was a little tight last week, but that was because it was fresh, so.
Well, you still wore it well. You made
Thank
it.
you.
Made it through the episode despite that. So, man, how about that Steve Cole?
I know, Steve Cole's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen him play before.
You know, Steve and I are former alumni of the Brian Culbertson Band, and yeah, I don't think, as I mentioned in the interview, I played with Steve a couple times with the sax back, but I don't think you were there. I think you were chilling. I think you took the night off.
Probably, yeah. There's been a lot of shows when Adam used to be a sideman, as they say,
Yeah.
before he started doing his own career. Just, through college and then even other professional ventures.
Yep.
I would go with Adam, but at a certain age, I was like, I can't hang anymore.
Well,
it's like an all-day thing sometimes, or maybe like 5 hours, 6 hours, and I just can't.
Well, the story or the anecdote that's really funny is that in the beginning, she was hanging tough. She was at every gig, helping me break down. And then it got to a certain point, she said, how long you playing? How long is the gig?
Well, no, I
what
just
time
started
you get
getting
done?
older. Because when that point in time when I could go with you to like 3 gigs in one day,
Yeah.
I was like 18.
Yep.
And slowly.
But you know what, honey? You're like a fine wine. Just
Thank
better
you.
with time.
Thank you.
Oh, well, and as I mentioned earlier in the episode, we're so excited. The whole reason why we pre-recorded this episode is literally right this second. We're moving all of our belongings from our house we've been at for 8 years to our brand new house that we're so excited about. Well, new to us. It's very new. Not new construction, but new to us. And
we ourselves are not moving. I'm not picking up a box.
well, but you've been doing a ton of packing though. So
I did do a lot of packing since probably January, because we had been planning for almost over a year to sell our house and move, but we had a timeline because, with traveling and Adam's schedule, we just wanted to pick like the perfect little pocket of time. So we chose this past summer to be when we would like into spring into summer when we would sell and move, and Adam Jr. would be out of school. So we had been planning, we had been getting our house together, packing a lot of things in like January, February, and we planned on putting our house on the market at the beginning of April, and then in March, COVID happened.
Yeah, the world ended, literally.
And we were like, well, we can't move now. But then every single day I was getting alerts on my phone from like Zillow and Redfin, and I said, wait, people are still buying and selling homes in a pandemic. We're supposed to be shut down. And so, and then in August, we just decided, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah, so we really hit high gear, put our current place on the market, and it went fast. It went in like 4 days or something crazy. So then it was like the hunt was on. But we found our place. I have just a few pictures. They're just exterior because, of course, my lovely wife is going to do her Martha Stewart thing and totally remake so we don't really have any inside photos for you, but we'll just give you a little idea of where we're headed. There's an exterior shot, and I'll just cycle through a few of these. And so we're really excited. We're going to have a little bit more room. And we already have some friends in the neighborhood as well. This is somewhere in Southern California. We're not going to give you, but
somewhere in SoCal.
Somewhere in Southern California. But anyways,
as you can see, our beautiful new palm trees.
Yeah, we got some palm trees, and we got some more space. We'll have room for the studio. This is actually the last episode that's going to happen in this room, so you'll get you'll definitely get a look at the new studio and as it progresses. And you promised to help me kind of deck out the studio a little bit too. So
I am going to help you deck out the studio. However, Adam has deadlines and you have work, so I don't know what all I can do in between the time our boxes are being unpacked
because I already have a few people saying, well, can I get something done by Thanksgiving? And so we're gonna get in the house next week. And then I'm just gonna hit the ground running, But it's a beautiful thing. Hey, employment is a beautiful thing, and I feel blessed, feel fortunate. So we just make it work and keep it pushing. So
we have a lot of. The house is incredibly immaculate. It's just a little bit more traditional than our style. So some stuff we can live with for a little bit, but other things we're just gonna get right to, like fixtures and stuff in the kitchen and all that. So we'll figure that out. But I know Adam's studio is first up.
Yeah, we gotta get up and running, and because I got so much new music coming out, and and speaking of which, that leads us. That's a really great segue to get us into Ask Adam, because we had a question about my future music, and so let's get to those questions.
Okay. So Joy Russell Nichols.
What's
Hi,
up?
Joy.
How you doing?
How you guys doing? She asks, so Adam, will you ever make a Christmas album, and can Kat sing?
Well, of course, Kat will sing. I think as long as you don't have any contractual obligations, do you?
No, just the house renovations. But we could fit it in.
I definitely it is something that's been on my heart and on my mind for a long time to do a Christmas album, or at least a Christmas single. I'm really deep into album number 4 right now, so that's the next thing that's coming up, because that's gonna be coming out mid 2011. So that, to answer your question, I'm really deep into album number 4, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. It's some new flavors, some new sounds.
Mid 2011.
Yeah, or 2011, 2021. Thank you. Hey,
At first I was like, okay, and then I said, wait, that doesn't sound right.
It didn't sound right. You're exactly right. See, she's my better half.
Are you hungry? Do you need some food?
Yeah, I think so. Adam Jr.'s talking about some In-N-Out, so we got, those of you West Coasters know what I'm talking about. In-N-Out, that's what a hamburger's all about.
Except I get a grilled cheese at In-N-Out. It's bomb.
Yeah. But so to answer your question, the next thing coming is album number 4, and I'm so excited about it, but definitely Christmas is on the docket after that. So, yeah.
And Christmas albums, I feel like, are hard. Unless, of course, you write your own Christmas songs.
Yeah.
I always find it hard for myself to think of something new to think of for Christmas, because all of our classic Christmas songs that we know are just so... I mean, how can you... we've heard them every single way, but sometimes the original is just it.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing why I've taken longer with it, because I've got a bunch of ideas in the computer and a bunch of sketches, but I want it to be really special. I want it to be different. I want it to be unique, because these songs, they've been done so many times. So that's really important to me, to find a way to make it uniquely Adam Holly.
Yeah.
So, but it's coming.
Uniquely
Don't worry.
Holly.
Don't worry.
That sounds like a tagline.
Hey, all right. We better register that before somebody takes it.
I know. Okay, Lori Erickson. Hi, Lori.
What's up?
She says, I love your curls, Adam. How long has it been now?
Oh, gosh. This is like the weekly subject. Well, the last time I got a haircut was February. And then, of course, March 14th, everything shut down. So I'm actually even, the pandemic plus a month. And I haven't had this long. When's the last time I had it this long?
Gosh, it's been years.
Maybe when we met.
It was longer than this.
Oh,
when we
really?
met.
Wow.
Yeah.
So should I keep it going?
No.
But I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I actually attempted to get a haircut a couple weeks ago, and it's been so long since I had a haircut. My barber has changed professions. He's like, sorry, man. Sorry, bro. I can't help you. I'm doing something else now. I was like, what? Man, it must have been a long time because I didn't even know he changed jobs. And
I know.
I was like, you don't want to make a little extra money this Saturday, man? I mean, you still got the clippers, right? But you know, what are you gonna do?
Like, I think we touched base on this last week. A lot of self-employed people have been forced to, you know, go into a different profession, at least, you know, temporarily until things are safe again, especially when you're dealing with the public. So,
well, you
I
dealt
can
with
see
that
why.
when you got your hair done. It was like there was the whole conversation of how do we do this, and then she ended up coming to our house.
Yes, my friend, my stylist, I texted her. I hadn't had my hair done in the salon since the end of February as well.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I said, you know, what are the guidelines you guys are doing in the salon? And she said that each stylist could only have one customer at a time. And I still did not feel comfortable with that because, I mean, no.
Yeah.
So she came to my house instead, which I felt really comfortable with. We both had our mask on.
Yeah.
We were in the living room, and I had the door open and the windows open, you know, for air circulation. And it was great. You know, I felt comfortable, and it was fine.
Yeah.
So, and actually, one of my girlfriends today showed me a picture. She went and got her hair cut. Same thing. First time since before March. And she's like, oh, my gosh, it feels so good.
Yeah.
And she said it was really tight-knit. You know, they took everyone's temperature as they came in.
Oh, wow.
Same thing. Each stylist could only have one customer, and every other station was occupied versus every station. And everyone had masks on, and they also had the doors open. So she said she did feel safe as well. So,
you know, and people are figuring it out. They're figuring out how to you know, survive and how to operate in these conditions. For instance, you know, I just got another request to see if I could come do sidelining, and many of you have probably seen me in several movies such as La La Land, Pop Star, This Is Us, Grey's Anatomy. So I got another call for one of those, and part of the schedule was COVID testing. So you got to test, then I have to go do wardrobe, then I have to test, and then go do the filming. So, you know, they just find a way to make it work, you know. So and then I did a big movie date about a month ago. And, you know, same thing, you know, it was just all very regimented and whatnot. So, you know, people figuring it out. Fortunately, we're moving forward.
And there are still some people and establishments that are not doing everything that they're supposed to be doing to keep everyone safe. But there still are a lot that are, to make sure not only themselves and their employees are safe, but then people that are frequenting it. And so, people are figuring it out. It's actually crazy, but we're getting it to a point where people feel safe doing certain things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got time for one more.
Okay, one more. Let's see. This is from Paula Sanders. Hi,
All
Paula.
right, what's up?
She says, come to Chicago with Adam for the Low Smooth Chicago show. I think she's talking to all you jazz lovers out there that's in Chicago.
Well, hey. As a matter of fact, I am coming to Chicago. It's in March. Let me grab. I got my phone right here because I don't want to lead you guys astray. I want to give you the date, and I'm so excited about this show. It is a triple bill. Myself, along with Vincent Ingala and Nelson Rangel, two gentlemen I've had so much fun making music with for a long time. Nelson and I, and you were there as well, we did a 2-date run in Ohio. We did Akron and we did Cincinnati, and that was a blast. Nelson, if I'm sure you're all familiar with him, but if you're not, first of all, amazing saxophonist, but then flute, piccolo, whistling.
Yes.
And then, of course, Vinny, I mean, you know, the consummate showman, saxophone, guitar, singing, drums. I mean, he plays it all. So I can't wait for that show. So I will be in Chicago, and it is March 13th. It's a Saturday, second Saturday in March. So to answer your question, I'll be there for Smooth Chicago. And can't wait to be hanging with Vinny and with Nelson. So there you go.
Yeah,
well,
that would be cool.
Thank you so much, honey, for coming
You're
through.
welcome. Thank you guys for your questions.
Yeah, for sure. And we will see you next week from the new domicile.
Yes, it might be a little bare because we don't know, what all we can get done in this time to next week.
Exactly.
But we'll see you in the new Adam AH studio.
There you go. Thanks, honey.
Bye.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where I get to tell you about what's happening next week, and I'm so excited. Very special interview, and this is the first time we've had a group on the show. We've had a bunch of incredible solo artists, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to let you know the Pete Project is confirmed. We met, we did our interview. I'm working on the music right now. We have a great collaboration. All the way from Hungary, the Bad Boys of Budapest. Wednesday, November 11th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on AH Live. And as I mentioned before, working, I'm efforting with Althea Renee, with Ollie, with Justin Schultz. So we've got some really great episodes for coming up for the rest of November. So it's going to be a blast. But Pete Project is coming up next week. And one more reminder, in case you want to help out, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, you can just click those links in the description. And we now do stars as well. So thank you for your support. Really appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone out there that's been helping. Okay, we got time for one more tune. Let me dial it up here. I'm going old school tonight. As I mentioned, Steve Cole and myself are both alumni of the Brian Culbertson Band, and Brian was the very first major artist to agree to appear on my debut album, Just the Beginning, and it really got the ball rolling, and I'm always grateful to him, not only for the time I spent in his band, but just his advice and his support in my solo career. So in honor of that, I'm going to dial up the tune that he played on for my first album, and this is called Cruisin'. ladies and gentlemen, that is going to close out another episode of AH Live. Tonight we featured the incredible Steve Cole, and next week it is the unbelievable group, the Bad Boys of Budapest. We're talking about the Heat Project. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Catch you later.